Well, I am about to embark on my way home. I am here at the Hilton Doubletree at Heathrow, and I have to admit, it's not a great hotel. I got a little spoiled, I guess, in Cambridge at the Fellows House because that Hilton property was just amazing. Maybe the best Hilton property I've ever stayed at. So if you're ever going to Cambridge, it's not ideally located because it's a little walk to the main area that you want to see. It's about a 30-minute walk, but it was well worth the extra effort to stay in such a wonderful, beautiful place. Now, this hotel was just overnight, as I just came up yesterday so that I wouldn't have to take all day to travel to London, worry about being late for my plane, whatever. I've got all morning. In fact, my plane has now been delayed almost an hour. So instead of leaving around 3:55, I think I'm leaving at 4:40 something. But I've got plenty of time built into Atlanta, so I'm not concerned about that. It has been a wonderful, wonderful trip. And today's video is just all about the trip home, at least all about getting to Atlanta. I'll probably finish the video in Atlanta, hopefully finish the edit. Maybe I'll have enough time in the Atlanta airport to upload it because I don't get home until midnight tonight. And I really don't want to spend, the first hour after getting home trying to get this video together. But yeah, it has been amazing. Cambridge was amazing. Again, it's not my first time to be here, obviously. Last time I was here, I came with my daughters and their husbands and my oldest granddaughter, and it was very cold. And we were here in March, I think. We were all bundled up as tight as we could be on the punt rides because it was so cold. Today, at this time, I was a ball of sweat, so not quite the same. I have washed clothes twice since I've been here. I know some of you were going to be asking. I didn't video any of that because I just didn't take the time. But I did, one evening, I did wash my merino wool t-shirt, some underwear, my merino wool socks. They were all dry the next morning, no big deal. And then the next time that I washed clothes, it was to wash the other merino wool t-shirt, my other pair of merino wool socks, and this shirt. Because one thing I found a couple of days ago, I was wearing the blue version of this shirt, and it didn't smell great. The merino wool t-shirt will not smell. So that I could wear that 2 or 3 days in a row, not worry about it. I can wear the socks 2 or 3 days in a row and not worry about it. But the shirt, I was a little concerned about this one on the plane ride home, so I thought I better wash this shirt. So I did. I washed it and I dried it overnight, and I've ironed it. It's as decent as it's going to look for a travel day. So I am just waiting around now to call a taxi and go to the airport and start the process. I am going to check my bag on the way home. This is something that I often do. Coming over, I use the ASVR bag, the little small bag, just to pack my stuff that I needed to do some video work with. And this time I'm taking the PackSafe bag because I will be able to attach my Pocket 3 to the strap and get some video around the airport. And plus, I have to pack all of the rechargeable batteries that I have, and so everything's going into that bag. My camera batteries, my razor, my little portable charger for my phone. Everything's in that bag. Got plenty of room left over, but it was just barely too much for the small ASVR bag. So now for my photography friends, yes, I have packed my camera and my lens in my checked bag. They're safe. If they get lost or stolen, I have insurance. If they get broken, I have insurance. But it was just some other heavy equipment that I didn't want to have slung over my shoulder while walking through the airport for roughly 3 hours waiting on my flight. So after I get my bag checked, I will immediately head through security and head to the, probably going to try out the Delta Lounge this time. And then we'll get on the plane and we will tell you a little bit about the way home. Let's get started. So I am at the Heathrow Airport. I got here quite early today because I got bored at my hotel. And I thought I was going to go to the Delta One Lounge, but it turns out they don't have one here. So when I checked in and I checked my bag, they asked me if I would like to go to the Virgin Atlantic Lounge. And, I've never been here before, so naturally I said yes. And the lady who was checking in my bag said, "Oh, I got to go there once. It is just the most absolutely marvelous thing ever." And the only way I got in, my American Express Platinum card does not get me into this. I guess I need to look over here at the camera. Does not get me into this lounge. But on my return trip to Atlanta, I decided to treat myself, and I got a first class seat on the way back. Now, I'm flying during the day, and a 180 layback seat is not going to be nearly as good as it would have been if I was coming over here. But you only live once, and you have to try it out. And this was sort of, I used my points to buy my plane ticket, so they were free. I used my points to get my hotels, so they were free. And I decided that I would go ahead and spend the money. The ticket price to buy the ticket, economy, the economy plus or whatever it is, the ticket price was about the same if I'd paid cash for the round trip as it was if I paid cash for the one-way first class from London to Atlanta. So that's what I've done. And of course, I booked that flight with my American Express Platinum card, so I get 5 times the points for that. So I will get roughly, 5,500 points. It's all a game. It's really just all a game. But I do have to say that the Virgin Atlantic Lounge is probably one of the best lounges I've ever been to. Now, I know there are a lot of really great lounges out there. Capital One has some great lounges. There are some Centurion lounges that are pretty good, which is the American Express lounges. But, the Priority Pass lounges, which I have access to because of my American Express Platinum card, they have given access to so many different cards. There are Chase cards that give you access. There are Capital One cards that give you access. That when you have a Priority Pass lounge, they are often so busy that it is nearly impossible to enjoy. The lounge here, it's probably half full, maybe a little over half full. There are plenty of places to choose to take a seat. I've been sitting at a bar where it's just not an alcoholic bar, just a bar seating, where I had a lay flat magnetic charger for my phone. So I've been charging my phone for a while. I went through the line to get some food. The last thing that I had, and this is all food that they dip for you. You don't dip it yourself, but the last plate that I had was some peppered smoked mackerel, some smoked turbo, some Stilton cheese, some poppy seed crackers. What else did I have? Some cucumber salad. Just, bits and pieces. And I could have just as easily have sat down and ordered a hamburger or a full English breakfast or whatever I wanted to order, They would have brought it to me. It's all done through a QR code. You just order, they bring it to wherever that QR code's table is. It's a piece of art. This lounge is a piece of art. So I'm waiting for my plane. I got here really, really early because I was bored at the hotel. Still got a while for the plane. But now you kind of know my secret, and that is I'm going to show you what it's like to fly first class on a Delta jet. Now this is an older jet. It is an older first class seat. It is not as roomy as some of the newer planes, but I don't really care.
Kind of claustrophobic.
Okay, we are in first class. This is the appetizer setting for today's dinner meal. Got a little bit of salad and a little bit of some prawns and a little bread. And I am waiting on the wild boar to be delivered in a little while I'm enjoying a little bit of 007's Skyfall.